All right, part two. Here we go.
What mother would give over their new or premature baby to a sack of shit like this during a time frame when every country's population had been severely reduced and begging for people to populate them cities? Were these mothers selling their unwanted babies, or were these babies motherless and being created unnaturally? Another topic on this subject.
Insane asylums. Oh my goodness. Yeah, let's build. No, we don't build a palace for insane asylum, but apparently they did, huh?
Known as the asylums. Hundreds, if not thousands, of these old world buildings were dedicated to being so-called asylums, running between the 17 and the 1800s. The narrative may say that these were lunatic asylums, but do you actually think the hardy, tough survivors of this time, after everything they've been through during the past reset, would care enough about people with mental disorders and supposedly build thousands of stone palaces to help the supposed mentally ill?
Yeah.
Bear in mind, these aren't the snowflakes that surround us today. These survivors
No. What's up, Connie? Glad to see you.
Had grit. The narrative will tell us that these lunatic asylums were more about containing the patients like prisoners.
Well, I think that if you were like against this reset or whatever, they put you in there, man. They just haul you guys down there. What's up, Bronx superhero?
Rather than treating them. That these prisoners were abused, tortured and raped. So why supposedly build, more like dedicate, these massive amazing palaces to just use them as a prison and abuse the inmates? It makes no sense, right?
Right.
These were clearly not lunatic asylums,
Clearly.
nor were they built in their AI faked history timeline. All of these structures are wood flooded. AI faked history timeline.
I gotta back it up.
All of
That one. Nice place. I could hang out there for a minute. Looks like a nice hotel or some shit, right?
these structures are wood flooded. Every single supposed asylum that I've looked at. These asylums were either a temporary housing for people immigrating
Cheers, Connie. It's all good.
to places like America, possibly housing for children coming in, or even possibly breeding facilities. Of the most bizarre and disturbing topics
Cabbage Patch Kids.
of this repopulation subject are the mass amounts of symbolic post.
That's Photoshop, man. Clearly, it's a cartoon. I get it. That's pretty wild though. It looks modern. I think somebody messed around with that one.
Disturbing topics of this repopulation
Same with that one. Why did they do that? That's weird. Just to show you they can do just about anything. I don't know.
subject are the mass amounts of symbolic posters and postcards implicating growing and selling babies during the 1890s and 1920s.
Yeah, this is like a little review, a little bit from last night. Just kind of catching up, letting people join and that kind of thing. It's crazy, right, Connie? Come on.
These are not cute vintage art. France has hundreds of great examples of these, but as you can see, they were posted all over the world, including America. You'll see the word à vendre, and this means for sale. As this one says on the back, dated 1907, sent to the US.
Like they're growing them in the lake, or what the hell's going on here? You're just fishing them out of the lake. That's so bizarre, man. It's so bizarre.
Dear L, don't you think they are very pretty on the other side? If so, hurry up and order one before they get sold. Duff from Agi. This one actually has the children's names written on the individual toddlers. And if we look on the back, the same handwriting. It doesn't
Yeah, that's really bizarre, man.
sound like a joke, does it? Children were being sold worldwide. And you might think,
It's the fish farm, baby. Yeah, farming from the mother's womb. There you go.
why would you advertise them like this? Would you rather choose your GMO baby by this
Could you imagine them doing that shit today? Holy shit. People would be freaking out.
picture or something more realistic? a part of our recent history that the mainstream narrative doesn't want you knowing about, as the chances are you may be a descendant of one of these GMO non-player characters.
In the 1900s, my dad was an incubator baby in Coney Island. He was on display. They had just invented the incubator. He was.
You could literally tell me anything, I'd believe.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
Ask yourself, what was your great-grandparents' names?
Yeah, it's still happening for sure. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of that going on, but it's not advertised like this. My goodness.
Or their parents' names?
Why won't this fucking...
Probably blank, right?
Fucking...
These now called catacombs are under every ancient and old world cathedral and church worldwide. More well known in Paris, but the size of France's catacombs only validates the mass death there. All bones dated during the Little Ice Age. Coincidence,
This is
right?
about where we stopped last night. Agave!
After the
Shit.
past reset, these remains were lined in old world tunnels originally built to feed the city's
Shout out to Agave.
water supplies.
Bioengineering people, yeah.
Presented in a symbolic, demonic, disrespectful manner. Most known catacombs, only small sections are permitted to the public, but they admit to them having hundreds of miles that are restricted. People actually pay to see the bones of the massacred ones. Rows of dead children, and they find this fascinating. Something I can only explain as trophies of the cult. And it won't be a coincidence that they're under every old world power station, nor why they surround these so-called churches with graves of rotting bodies of the dead. Graves that only date after the last reset.
Yeah, they probably had some, Christmas specials, Black Friday specials on the babies. You get the 2-for-1. Yeah. Scratch and dent.
That's all I've got to say on this disgraceful subject.
This is where I left off last night. Did the first half, and anyway. The ugly baby sale. There you go. All right, here we go. This is all fresh. Let's check it out.
Because the cult's AI knows what I am and knows that I know the truth, it will communicate to me differently to how it would with most. When I ask, why did the cult do this to the people? Why does it reset them? Why does it lie to them? This is my answer. When empires, nations or rulers win a war or overthrow a system, they also rewrite the narrative to justify their power. If people knew all the ways they'd been exploited, they'd resist. Suppressing certain truths maintains control over populations. Education systems are designed for compliance, not exploration. Kids are taught clean versions of events instead of the messy reality. Truth threatens power. A population that knows its real history is harder to control. A society that remembers lost knowledge doesn't need rulers. A people who understand how often we've been reset would question everything.
That would be us. And we're questioning everything. That's what we do. Yeah. Because we kind of know what's up. What's up?
All empires, lost technology and cultural worldviews don't fit neatly into textbooks. A cult literally means hidden. Ruling classes often kept deeper knowledge for themselves. Religion and politics, both the same thing, censored anything that threatens their authority, labelling it hearsay, superstition or conspiracy.
Conspiracy.
Governments and media shape collective memory through propaganda, film, school and even monuments. By controlling what we remember, they influence how we behave. I think that answers my questions pretty well. Humanity did, could and would live in harmony and abundance without being governed. We wouldn't need to break the law, common law, natural law, the law of the land, that you won't bring harm or loss to another human being. That's all we need. That covers all crimes. But it doesn't stop the cult pushing their 70,000 statute legislations upon us, put in place to control and collect revenue from us to feed their own greed, destruction, genocides and even funding our own current Great Reset. A statuted rule has the force of law upon consent of the governed. They poison our skies and air while blocking the sun.
Well, this guy's just hitting on everything. From catacombs to chemtrails, man. He's crushing it. Interesting, man. This was recommended, highly recommended. A lot of people watched it. They were talking about it. I thought I'd do a, watch it and review it and see what's up. What's everybody talking about? Let's check it out. And so far, so good, man. It's been interesting.
And even blatantly admitting it.
It's a little too interesting. It's good, man. This one, 12 years ago? For real? What? No, really?
Hurtling us into the next little ice age.
Come on, man.
And avoid.
Well, it's been re-edited. It's got modern creators and stuff, so. Anyway, back to, I'm going. Oh, we lived it. Yeah, we saw that movie 12 years ago. Yeah. Yes, we did.
Admitting it. Hurtling us into the next little ice age. And I've already shown you what happens after that. They poison our water supply. They poison our food. They poison our healthcare. Their AI orchestrates worldwide fake pandemics. And the docile, obedient non-player characters did as they were programmed to. Attempted to police us. Muffled voices through their face masks, while losing their tiny little minds and queuing up like cattle to the slaughterhouse.
Yeah, superhero. There's some weird weather, man. Was it warm wind? Dude, I got this crazy warm weather over here, man. I mean, it's like 85 degrees Fahrenheit, man. It's crazy. In January 15th, 16th, whatever. All week long, we've had this 80-degree weather, man. I remember, like, we could get 1 or 2 days of this, but not a whole week. That's crazy, man.
Not that they haven't pulled this scamdemic before. There's absolutely nothing new under the...
Yeah, 30s, but it's been 60 plus. See, yeah, that's like really warm for you guys right now, right? All right.
They haven't pulled this scamdemic before. There's absolutely nothing new under the sun. Just tests to gather data on the next course of action needed and to fit all their infrastructure. All areas and subjects of the truth movement have been infiltrated by shill deceivers and what I call non-player character truthers.
Tartaria's greatest technology. Tartaria's.
Non-player characters playing conspiracy theorist, pushing
Tartaria USA road trip. There you go.
5% truth with 95% fantasy bullshit.
Tartarian America.
Misinformation, fear, and deception.
Ice wall lore. That's hilarious.
And then we've got the fully AI-controlled truth content creators.
Oh, yeah. The full AI content creators.
In the same shite as the non-player character truthers. It's the same issue with genuine truth journalists. It's their beliefs that hold them back, as designed to, from ever uncovering 100% truth on the particular subject that they report on year out. Stagnating on one piece of the puzzle and making no effort to discover the bigger picture.
The way this guy puts his videos together reminds me of a channel called Flat Earth Smarts. Flat Earth Smarts. He kind of had a similar voice, similar. Yeah, they stall the Epstein shit. The videos come out. I'll just cry, AI, AI, man. It's AI, bro. That wasn't me.
Spouting beliefs about their imaginary ice wall that traps them and the flock in their own minds. Something I will soon undeniably prove.
Yeah, here. Let me see if I can find a channel here. Hang on a second. Fuck. I think I still sub to him. Shoot. Pretty sure I am. Hold on. Dang it. Where is it? Fuck. I gotta figure it out. All right, hold on. Let me go to my subs. Yeah, Flat Earth Smart's kind of similar, and it's interesting. Super interesting. All right, why is that coming up like that? I don't know. I got too many windows open. Sheesh. Too many tabs, man. I'm screwing this all up, right? All right, Flat Earth Smarts. Let me see if it's still there, man. Who knows what happened to his channel, but let's see here. Flat Earth Mafia or Mania. What was that? I remember that channel. Flat Earth Hippie. Flat Fingers. Flat Stuff. I'm not seeing it, man. Damn it. Darn it. I don't see it. I don't see it. Flat Earth Smarts. Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, that was Jibby. Yeah, that's Jibby's channel. Flat Earth Smarts. I think he might have taken it down or something. It was pretty good, man. The guy was fantastic. He'd bring up stuff. He'd go into like really good stuff. Anyway, back to the movie.
Does not exist. Where do you think the ice wall and flat earth model come from? One of the biggest deceptions that this cult brainwashes even supposed truthers with is their religions. By following a strong spiritual path of enlightenment and having a true understanding of what you are, only expands your mind, body, ability and raises our frequency.
Far
you don't
out, man.
need their religions that close your mind and traps you in fear. Put in place to control, divide and cause you to hate each other, to kill each other, to make you vibrate at your low levels. When it comes to this Satan's little season that most so-called truthers are rambling on about, the cult has made the masses believe and worship a fake god that was created through rape. And I'm pretty sure it's one of the 10 Commandments and a sin to fuck another man's wife. The backbone of the Christian cult is the 10 Commandments, something all Christians seem to bypass. For example, thou shalt have no other gods before me, your God, and thou shalt have no other saviours but me, your God. But Jesus is your God and your saviour, created through rape, right? And his dad, the psychopathic God that massacred this world by flooding it, killing every man, woman and innocent child. The cult have fooled all religions into worshipping evil, to make sinners of you all. Maybe this is why the cult reset and massacre the population so often,
Right?
collecting the
Hey,
souls
what's
of
up,
their flock.
Mongo? Fuck.
The
hold on.
timeline before the last reset believed that
What's up,
Jesus was
Gerard?
coming to
Good to see
save
you,
them
man.
too. He never turned up. If the people are that
Holy
gullible
shit.
and unenlightened that they can't see this clear deception, then maybe it is for the best that they sell their souls to Jesus for so-called salvation. I believe in nothing unless I can prove it. That's why they're your beliefs, because you can't. If something is true, you can prove it. We in this world were created, but not by the cults made up false gods written by their dogshit AI.
Got that right.
I want to make clear from the start that I have no intention on sailing to the lands recently referred to as Antarctica. But understanding the truth of Antarctica is vital to the understanding of the bigger picture. And this is not it. The flat earth model. Our supposed known world in the middle, a ring of ice referred to as the Antarctic ice wall that wraps around our world and imprisons your minds. The first atlas globe type maps showing ice or an ice wall popped up around 1892 with the likes of the famous and heavily pushed Gleason's map. We now know that all the ice formed that we see rapidly melting today was caused by the Little Ice Age between 1600s and 1850. And later on, I'll prove that nowadays Antarctica is the only remaining landmass that still remains partially frozen. The narrative of Antarctica obviously has deceptions, but in reality it's fairly close to its narrative in comparison to the purposely deceitful Flat Earth model. Soon after the end of the Little Ice Age, Freemason Admiral Byrd's expeditions were sent out to inspect the damage and find out what was left. A few years later, in 1961, the Antarctic Treaty was formed. The only agreement and treaty signed by all high-power nations and never broken. Now, most that have proclaimed that this treaty prevents the public from passing south of the 60 degrees south have been criticised. Now, don't get me wrong, restricting us beyond the 60th south is exactly what the treaty does. But number 2 of their rules states there will be complete freedom of scientific investigations. Now, by all means, apply for permission from your governors, begging to explore Antarctica to scientifically prove that their own bullshit narrative is alive. And if you're granted permission, I will fully fund the expedition and take you there myself. But you will be ignored.
All right, this is where everybody was saying, hey, man, this guy's putting together this expedition, but it's got an interesting video. Check it out. That's what I'm doing. I'm just checking it out. So I'm going to back it up just a touch. But, yeah, he's going to go on he wants to go on an expedition, man. We've heard that shit before, man, right? Yeah.
We fund the expeditions alive to explore Antarctica to scientifically prove that their own bullshit narrative is alive. And if you're granted permission, I will fully fund the expedition and take you there myself. But you will be ignored, investigated, or denied.
Man, anyway, it's another day, maybe. Interesting.
And don't think you can lie your way to permission. As it says in number 7, all Antarctic stations and all ships and aircraft supplying Antarctica shall be open to inspectors from any treaty nation. But they do add number 6. The treaty applies to all land and ice shelves south of 60 degrees south, but not the seas. Which quickly takes us to their fake Antarctic trips, holidays and vacations. We've got South America. Down at the bottom, we've got Cape Horn and Drake Passage. An area of ocean 600 miles wide. This thin passage added with Cape Horn, where the Atlantic and the Pacific Oceans clash. Known amongst us sailors as the most treacherous area in the world. The worst area one would want to sail through. A true test of a sailor's skill and grit. A place that's claimed tens of thousands of lives. So when it comes...
Well, that sounds good. Yeah, that sounds good. Not going on that fucking trip. No, I haven't. Too cold, man. I don't like it that cold. Dread lives in cold. Agave, you're in cold. You guys are younger. You guys should go. Come on, man. Don't be a pussy. You guys got to go. All right. You know what to do, Drad. Come on, man.
Comes to trip to Antarctica, this would be the worst area to make the crossing by vessel. Keep that in mind.
I'm keeping it in mind.
The narrative and deceptive tour guides claim there's 8 different ways to explore Antarctica. And you can book tickets for a couple of them for about 10 to...
Go to Mexico, get some tacos, man. Come on, compadre.
£30,000 per person, sometimes just for a 2-day trip.
Oh, cervezas. Don't forget cerveza, man. Cerveza.
Number 1,
I gotta back this
sometimes just for a couple of them for about £10,000 to £30,000 per person.
Wait. Yeah, that's the Union Glacier, 32
sometimes just for a 2-day trip.
Fuck, that's fucking bullshit.
Number 1, the classic Western Peninsula voyage. Crossing the Drake's Passage by vessel.
Bullshit.
Even jokes about the unpredictable seas of death. Stopping at the Shetland Islands, King George Islands, and Half Moon Islands, none of which are Antarctica. But the flooded Caledonia of Deception Islands, you just can't...
It looks beautiful, man. That does look cool, but, you know, We got some shit here in California that looks kind of similar, man, for sure. It looks very similar.
Make this shit up, and we'll get back onto that later. Number 2, cross the Antarctic Circle. This one sounds more promising, right? Only a handful of souls have been further than 66 degrees south.
Sounds like a moon landing kind of people. A handful.
Maybe they'll let you be the 6th, right? Crossing the Drake by vessel again.
What's up, Racer?
Most Antarctic
Good to
cruisers
see you,
don't
brother.
actually cross the Antarctic Circle. Shocking, right? A couple of days on a boat around the Western Peninsula, looking from the vessel, of course. Potentially crossing the Antarctic Circle line, meaning you've not crossed it and you won't be. Number 3, Antarctica, South Georgia and the Falkland Islands. Crossing the Drake again. Neither the Falkland Islands or South Georgia Islands are Antarctica. Number 4, the Ross Sea from New Zealand. Only a handful of ships per year head south from New Zealand, so good luck trying to book this fake Antarctic trip.
Just a handful go from New Zealand to Antarctica. Is that okay? Gotcha. I mean, I don't know. I haven't checked it out, but interesting.
But even if you did, the pristine Snare Islands, the Macquarie Islands, the Campbell Islands
Auckland.
and the Auckland Islands are not Antarctica. Number 5, the Weddell Sea and the Eastern Peninsula. Crossing the Drake Passage again. Paulet Island on the tip of the peninsula is not Antarctica. Number 6, fly to Antarctica and onto the pole.
Yes. Let's fly. I'm sure this one's expensive.
A 5-hour flight to what they call the geographic South Pole, what a joke, but they get 3 to 4 hours here. In reality, you're flown to near the peninsula and shown a cheap barbershop pole for a selfie opportunity.
You get to go to the cheap barbershop pole, man. Freezing. You gotta wear skis and goggles, and there's a lot of work, man.
Don't bother taking your compass because it won't indicate you're anywhere near the South Pole
Yeah, don't bother taking your compass. That's funny.
because you're not. Number 7, the semi-circumnavigation. A vessel from New Zealand across the Drake Passage. Peter First Island, sailing round the Amundan Sea, Ross Sea or Ross Island is not Antarctica. Plus, the Ross Ice Shelf is where all the sheer icefall photos come from.
Yeah, that was their term, man. They call it the ice shelf.
But in reality, it's just this little bit. Number 8, hilarious, fly over the Drake. Just a plane trip, no landing, enough said. Now, it's time to show you what your world used to look like.
Check it out, man. All right, I want to shout out to Racer and Drad and Gave, Connie. Thank you guys for showing up, hanging out. Kiss a penguin, hug a seal. There you go. Get a selfie with the penguin, man. There you go. Interesting. I heard the penguins, once they get a mate, they keep the mate forever. They don't cheat. That's what I heard. Anyway. The key.
Some of you may have seen this before. This is the Abono Monte chart from 1587. One of the largest old world maps at 10 feet.
It's like 10 by 10 feet, man. It's huge. Super high def, man. What a killer map. I've checked it out. I kind of got lost in it for a day or so, half a day.
By 10 foot. A truly outstanding and accurate chart. But I have no intention using this 400-year-old chart to navigate to the lands that have been hidden from us.
Outer Ponders.
Remember earlier, the way I found the past Great Reset, the Little Ice Age and the crisis of humanity was because of this very
He'd like to go to Mexico. I don't know if he's going to Mexico.
Great Reset, the Little Ice Age and the crisis of humanity was because of this very map. It's no coincidence that it's the least documented old world map amongst supposed truthers.
I don't know about that, man. That's a little bit of a baby big brush, man. I don't know. I think we've a lot of my friends and people I hang out with. We've all looked at this map, right? You guys have all seen this map, man. I downloaded it and cruised around for half a day looking at it, going, what the hell's going on over here? And it's a crazy map, man. You could spend years looking at this thing, man.
They don't want you looking at this map, as you may discover the hundreds of truths and hidden knowledge that I have. But even the cool has to follow the rules of this world. The truth must be there to find. Hidden in
plain sight. Damn it. Are those all castles? Some of them look like smokestacks and turds or something. I don't know what they are, man.
Plain sight. But they do love to turn your world upside down. In every way.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Even literally. Due to pesky cartographers and historians that retain a soul and minds to think, proving that the currently used Mercator map is completely distorted and inaccurate compared to the slightly more but still deceptive Gauss-Peter projection map, the court have been forced to roll out their damage control and, as always, slowly adapt a new deceptive narrative. But trying to wrap our world around a globe distorts both of these deceptive maps. There's many good presentations and papers written on this subject.
Oh, hell yeah.
The main part
Some
overlooked
really
concerning the Gauss-Peters projection map is that it's meant to be this way up, a reality that I'll explain later on. All genuine maps, new and old, are navigational aids for land, sea and air. Any charts I show are predominantly charts for sea navigation. All real maps include the key to navigate safely the very map itself. If a map does not include this, it's just a pretty picture or fantasy art like this pile of shit.
Oh, shit. Do you guys know who made that fucking map? I think that was... remember Sean? Oh, fuck. You guys remember Sean, right? He was... Yeah. I think he made that like in CAD or something, man. Back in the day. Yeah. It just got called a pile of shit. That's funny. I got a giggle out of that. But yeah, that was the one he made, man.
This, it's just a pretty picture or fantasy art like this pile of shit.
That was freaking Sean. Fucking crazy Sean. He was drinking all the time. Oh, you guys remember. You guys were there. Yeah.
That all the non-player character truthers shell out.
All right.
In modern marine navigation, we use multiple types of technology to travel accurately and as safe.
Well, fucking, I live like right next to Disneyland. So does Racer. So yeah, if you come out, man, you hang out with us, bro. All right, I'm totally getting off track here, man. The map thing threw me off because Sean came up with that, man.
Like this pile of shit that all the non-player character truthers shell out. In modern marine navigation, we use multiple types of technology to travel accurately and as safely as possible. Very few modern civilian sailors can read paper charts and plot a heading. Like with most these days, technology strips their human skills that their ancestors thrived on.
Or stripping our skills, bro.
Making lazy, incompetent and easy to dispose of sheeple.
Oh, you're driving. She's a gold digger? Oh, but you got money, Drad. You got money, bro.
Even though I have chart plotters and
I'm kidding. But that's hilarious.
other tech aboard like radar, I understand that technology is a lot of
Get home safe, Drad. Get home safe, brother.
the time unreliable. But the captain's old school. A simple compass or a clear view of the sun or stars is all I need to navigate this world around us.
Yep, that's
Added
all we
with
need.
new and old charts,
need, bro.
more reliable tech like my autopilot, radar, plus knowing all the sea shanties, I'm in my element.
Yep, I'm a sailor. I know. I'm a sailor. Yeah, I can handle it for sure, man.
I've translated Monty's 1587 map in its entirety from ancient Italian to English.
Dude, that's a lot of work,
Now-
bro. I can't believe he did all that work, man. Damn.
Do I believe that Monty pictured the exterior lands and their coastlines in perfect detail? No. Not only have these lands been decimated during the Little Ice Age, but you'll see these lands were relatively unknown in Monty's timeline, the people pre-reset to us. This was the edge of the known world in this time frame.
There's outer ponders.
The most important job of any marine chart is to inform how to travel from land to land. Routes, ports, tides, dangers along the path, that kind of thing.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that's a problem, man. You don't want to get caught in one of those bad boys. No.
North is to our world centre in all directions. South is pointing outwards in all directions parallel to north. Right, when facing
Obviously that's an AE map.
north is east. And left, when facing north,
Oh, shit. You want the link? Yeah, I got you, bro. Hold on.
is west. For example,
Hold on.
to travel to Galicia, one of the exterior landmasses,
It's in the
I'd go
in the
to the middle of
description.
Galicia and pictured by
bro.
Monty and point direct
Go in the
north.
description. It's in there.
Leads me to what's
You got
now
the
called
link.
South Mexico, around these ports. On this site, it shows me what
All right. Yeah, it's in the description. You got it? Yeah. I put it in there. Backing it up. Hold on. I'm talking over this shit, man. My captain's going to be pissed at me, man. I'm fucking up his video. But he did leave me a note today on last night's stream. He did say, dude, thanks, man. He thought I did a good job. So I hope, whatever. I appreciate his work so much. I mean, he's doing things I'm not doing. For fuck's sake, you know what I mean? All right, let's carry on with the map. We're traveling, man, the world. Let's go.
and point direct north. Leads me to what's now called
I've been into the dual pole Earth thing. If you guys have seen that, it's very interesting. Just checking it out. Been looking at it for a few years here and there, but yeah. Anyway, but does this map work? Yeah, it could work. Does the AE map work? Yeah, if you want to sail, you could probably make it work. But yeah, there's going to be some problems. But yeah, this is interesting. Anyway, I'm going to carry on. Outer ponders.
by Monty and point direct north. Leads me to what's now called South Mexico, around these ports. On this site, it shows me what landmasses were called as far back as 1550.
1550. Damn, boy. Damn.
Depending on the date that you enter down here. As you can see, modern day Mexico. Change the date to Monty's time of 1587. There were 3 kingdoms, one being New
What?
Galicia.
Never heard of it.
The only slight spelling difference due to the Monty
You guys ever heard of this shit? I never heard of that. New Glacia. New Glacia. It does sound Spanish, though.
being in ancient Italian and the other being in
Or Italian. Yeah, because that's where a lot of people from Mexico came from, man, was Italy. Yeah, that's right. He's got
the
that
only
right.
slight spelling difference due to the Monty being in ancient Italian and the other being in English. You would head south from mainland New Galicia to travel to Galicia, the continent.
They're from Spain. They weren't from Italy. They were from Spain, right? Spaniards, Spain. Yeah, my bad. It's been a long day. Anyway. Yeah, definitely some new information, man. I love when people put together a solid project. It's fantastic, Check it out. You know us. We're all skeptics. Come
The
on.
Monty being in ancient Italian and the other being in English. You would head south from mainland New Galicia to travel to Galicia, the continent. From any of the many ports that Monty pictured along New Galicia. By 1787, the Americas had been claimed, but New Galicia still remained. Plus, Rupert got his little bit as well.
This is wild.
Between 1882 and 83, New Galicia was renamed Jalisco, and its history hidden and rewritten. But there's still loads of ancient and old world buildings.
Oh shit. Ancient old world buildings. Old world, man. I like that term rather than Tartar. Old world is just fantastic to me, man, as far as a name for what happened in the old world, man. They were building crazy cool shit like that. Damn. I wish I was on that project, man. Yeah, I installed that roof there, man. Me and my buddies. Yeah, we did that. No, I'd be bragging about it. Be like, dude, I worked on that building right there. I worked on houses. I brag about. I'm like, dude, I did the kitchen here. I did the bathroom. Whatever. You know, I'm like, no, I built this freaking. Check this out, man. We worked on this. Took us
And
a
its
while,
history
man.
hidden and rewritten.
Yeah, but it was
But
cool.
there's still loads of ancient and old world buildings still remaining in this area. Now, I can do this all the way around this map, and it lines up perfectly with the new one too.
Oh.
I want to give you a quick walk around on the inner lands as well as the outer, as this map's a key to understanding the bigger picture and answers hundreds of questions.
Yeah.
We'll start in the middle.
Yeah.
Other than the new chart that I'll be using to navigate out here, like all maps, they're presented upside down. So let's turn this G the correct way round.
Oh, there we go.
The North Pole, the Arctic, Hyperborea, Rupus Nigra, Sumeru, the Garden of Eden. It's been called a lot of names over the years.
Yeah, it has. Mount Meru. Oh, yeah, we've heard it. Hyperborea. That sounds very galactic.
My human ancestors called it Asgard. This G in the middle at 90 degrees, in cartography, this G basically means the destination. And even
Is that why the Freemasons use a G? Maybe, I don't know. Just a question.
though we can't see what's under the destination marker, it's always the same in old world cartography. The magnetic mountain, Mount Meru, Black Rock, Mount Sinai, the Holy Mountain. Again, this mountain's got many names. And the reason why it looks so familiar, the cult have pushed this imagery on you all of your life, hidden in plain sight.
Oh, the Matterhorn. Dude, that's at Disneyland. Oh, shit.
You all of your life,
No, not
hidden in
that
plain
one.
sight.
That one. That's the Matterhorn. Now it's, I think Swiss Alps. Swiss? I don't know. But, yeah, they put that right there in my hometown. And it's right there that they built a roller coaster inside of it, bro. And it's right here in my hometown. Yep, Matterhorn. It's called the Matterhorn. Anyway, that's what I get growing up next to Disneyland, yeah? What are you going to do?
The power source of us and this world. 4 islands separated by 4 rivers, one always charted having 7 heads. The original Euphrates River. The mountain described like a heart, drawing the oceans in and pushing it back out, causing the tides and the world's oceans currents, feeding a balance of warm water around our world's oceans.
Yeah, man, now it's always been a flat earth thing. It's like people come and go, well, can't you explain tides? Water comes in, goes out. You know, your explanation is we're spinning and the moon is causing this. And, you know, I can stand here and go, oh, shit, I don't know. But it does seem like the earth is breathing in and out. That's all. It's not that complicated. We all breathe in and out, right? Yeah, I just checked it. Okay, we're good. Carry on.
Like any plasma source, each side of
Now
Hyperborea,
you're talking
we have
my
the
language.
anode island
Plasma.
and the cathode island.
Yes, there we go. See, he's on it, man. This is dual pole shit right here, man. Cathode, yeah. Dude. All right, now I'm excited. Okay, here we go.
We have the anode island and the cathode island. The cathode, the positive, life-giving. Magnet pole and deep green island. The anode, the negative, life-taking. Pole of the magnet Husiarka. Now, I can't actually translate what Husiarka means. Maybe one of you know. But just breaking
Any guesses? Husiarka. Husiarka. History? Something. I don't know.
down that word, arca, magnetic, maybe there's a connection there, I'm not too sure. The anode and cathode islands have been shown in many other old world cartography. showing an understanding of this world up until our recent timeline. The ancients and old world civilizations knew all this, and
That's what makes the dual pole work. Nano cathode, man. You can do this in your kitchen table. Check it out.
incorporated it into everything. Now, down onto the North Sea, towards the Atlantic, we've got Greenland and Iceland, Friesland and Hiltland, two more countries sunken during the Little Ice Age around 1783 and removed from the AI's history. We've got the UK, Scotia, Scotland, Aberdeen, and we've got Elgin, Glasgow. Over to Ireland, you can clearly see Dublin, Ingal, England, Lincolnia, Lincoln, Londra, London. Over to France.
All right. Look at the detail on
Got
this.
Paris.
That's pretty fucking wild.
Somewhere I'm soon sailing with my son, St Michael's Mount. A stunning ancient island city off the coast of Normandy.
Oh shit, Tartaria. I mean, old world. Yeah, they Starford Castle. Yeah, I'm busy. Yeah, let me crank this baby out. Give me a couple 100 years. I got you, bro. I got you. Yeah, that one's always blown me away, man. Damn. I would love to go there and hang out, man. I would be tripping out. You know what I'm saying? I would like, okay. What's underneath this? Yeah, we'd be all freaking out. That's pretty cool. Anyway, great.
Le Merville Abbey, which sits on top of the mount, about
There's another one. Oh, crap. They
300
just
foot
crank
sea
these
level.
out, man. Like,
I love gems
like cars these days, man. Crank out a building.
like this that survived the Little Ice Age events. Onto the Mediterranean, we've got Spain, Italy, the Pisa Tower, possibly before the mudslides during the Little
crap.
Ice Age, gave it its lead.
What, 15? What?
Egypt,
Get the
the pyramids. Cairo is one of the largest cities pictured on the Monty map. Going over the Atlantic. Remember, this is 1587, so Canada only had Canadian provinces at this time, but fully built out with the ancient and old world infrastructure that we see there today. Take note of the griffin, that'll make more sense later.
Oh, the griffin. The damn griffin. Ugh.
The translation
Wow.
was a little off on this one, but it basically says something along the lines of, here are griffins with 4 feet like eagles, and I'm pretty certain it says something about
Yeah,
large
1587.
crabs.
Exactly.
But the other translations in Canada came through perfect. When these villages were discovered, they found very large, almost giant men and women, and they escorted the convoys chained, beardless, and naked, genocided and enslaved like all natives.
What?
Down the east coast of what's now
Damn.
North America,
Damn.
we've got Florida. Florida was discovered in year 1522, about Easter, the day on which it was discovered. Now,
No
it says
way.
discovered twice. Discovered only 65 years before this map was created.
1492.
So shows how little this timeline knew before they were reset themselves.
All right, let me get that straight, man. Hold on. Whoa. Back it up. Shit. All right. 1522. 65 years after Columbus. Columbus, man. I think he was down there, right?
In year 1522, about Easter, the day on which it was discovered. Now, it says discovered twice. Discovered only 65 years before this map was created. So shows how little this timeline knew before they were reset themselves. And it was
Okay. What year was... Okay. We're getting there. Sorry.
little this timeline knew before they were reset themselves. And it wasn't the so-called American Indians building these cities and living here,
Yeah.
as I'll prove shortly.
No, I'm American Indian. or part American Indian. But yeah, we didn't build that shit, man. Nowhere in our history we're like, hey man, we're just cranking out some buildings, bro. No.
Down to Mexico. At the time, Mexico was just a city, not a country, and Montian pictures this city perfectly.
Damn, look at that.
Before its complete destruction during the Little Ice Age, Mexico was the largest city and capital of the Aztec Empire. The Aztecs were not the primitive savages that the mainstream pushes. Towards their end, sure, they had become more savage and started sacrificing people to their weather gods.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I buy that story 100%. I'm like, yeah, there's some. They always hear about these like sacrifices, you know. I'm like, really? Did they just bring up people and just chop their heads off? It seems a bit barbaric, but you know, what do I know? You know, but makes you think, right? Yeah, you just, I don't know, man. I don't know about the sacrifice thing, but you know, that's what they tell us. Carry on.
But only due to the direct results of the Little Ice Age. But at the same time, the Satanic Church were burning hundreds
They burn the witches.
of thousands of women due to thinking
That's a story again. Here we go. I don't know, man. I mean, it sounds interesting. I wasn't there. None of us were there, but yeah, man. I mean, that. You know, burn a bunch of. It just doesn't. I don't know. Maybe I'm just naive. Oh, fuck it.
that they were witches and using their witchcraft to create the bad weather. Sometimes the woman's entire family and children were burned at the stake.
Bad weather.
So were these Aztecs?
We're having bad weather, man. Let's burn some people, bro. That'll help. Okay. That sounds good, bro. Who do you want to burn? I don't know, man. Like, just what the fuck, man? I mean, I wouldn't do that, man, for no reason whatsoever, man. Come on. I'm too grounded. I'm too grounded for that kooky shit, bro.
Any more stupidly despicable as the rest of the so-called civilized Christian world at the time. But once the sea ice melted, the Aztecs were given their Christian genocide and colonized immediately.
Yeah, you're right. Damn.
Over to the west coast of America. Anyone that knows their geography knows this looks odd.
California, Baja, California, bro. Yeah, man.
This well-known and documented country called California was a...
country. Yeah, he said that last night, man. Country of California, bro. I've never heard that term, man, bro. I lived here, my whole life. I've studied this stuff, looked at maps. Nobody's ever called California a country until, recently. That's my recollection. If you guys have ever heard of the country of California, let me know, man, because I'm moving. I'm going, and I love where I live, man. We got oceans and mountains and deserts, and it's good. We got pretty much everything. It's all good, man. All right. The country of California, bro. All right, here we go.
Over to the west coast of America. Anyone that knows their geography knows this looks odd. This well-known and documented country called California was amongst the largest land to be lost during the catastrophic destruction of this area during the Little Ice Age.
Damn.
And as you can see, we've got modern-day California where it is today.
Yeah, it's not an island. It's kind of on the... Yeah, it looks... Well, yeah, there's Rio Grande River, Mexico. You got the Gulf of Mexico, California. Yeah, Arizona, New Mexico. Yeah, we got it. That looks about right.
And just up, we've got San Francisco as expected. With active volcanoes.
San Francisco. Just make sure you wear some flowers in your hair, man, if you're going to San Francisco, bro.
That blow about 20 years later. This entire area, 4 times the size of Europe, first flooded into its own continent, then snapped off into the ocean around 1630. It's where Americans get their myths that one day California will snap off and sink into the Pacific Ocean.
Is that Sue?
It's not that modern
Is that
California
Susan?
will fall
Oh
into
my
the
God.
ocean.
Hold on,
It's
wait,
that
I gotta pause
California...
it. Susan? Susan, I've hugged you in person. Welcome. You changed your name, man. What happened? What the hell? Dang it. I gotta back it up, man. I'm totally screwing this all up, man. I'm super interested in this California thing, man. Why? Because I live here. And I screwed up, man. I got distracted.
Europe first flooded into its own continent and snapped off into the ocean.
Sue. Okay. I know who you are. Love you. Love you, girl. Love you. Good to see you. Yeah, we're still out here doing it. Got some new stuff. We're checking it out. What's up, King? Much respect, King. Good to see you, brother. All right, here we go. Thank you guys for showing up, man. Appreciate it. I just, this video got super highly recommended from New Perspective, Dave. And I was like, dude, you got to see this. You got to see this. And I trust him, man. I trust he's going to give me something good. So, yeah, so far so good, man. Not bad. All right, back to the movie.
Volcanoes that blow about 20 years later. This entire area, 4 times the size of Europe, first flooded into its own continent, then snapped off into the ocean around 1630.
All right.
It's where Americans get their myths that one day California will snap off and sink into the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, we used to hear that, man. We're going to have a freaking stupid earthquake and we're going to go split off. And I got some beachfront property in Arizona. That's what they used to say. Got some beachfront property in Arizona, man.
30. It's where Americans get their myths that one day California will snap off and sink into the Pacific Ocean. It's not that modern California will fall into the ocean. It's that California, the country, did fall into the ocean. It's like Chinese whispers from your ancestors.
All right. When did this California fall into the ocean, bro? Secret Asian, man. Tripping out, man. There's OG up in the house.
And bear in mind that the mainstream narrative says that San Francisco was found in
Sue's OG.
1776 and named in 1847.
Fuck.
But here it ended in 1770. And bear in mind that the mainstream narrative says that San Francisco was found in 1776 and named in 1847. But here it is in 1587, named San Francisco 300 years before the fake mainstream narrative supposedly even named it.
Check it out.
Just like I've been showing you, to navigate to the country of California, you would travel south from mainland California. This line indicates south. Straight south from mainland California to the port of California in the country of California. Just like from mainland New Galicia.
Dude, I say we bring back the country of California. What do you guys think? I want to bring it back, man. Let's go. This is a cool place, man. It really is.
In the country of California. Just like from mainland New Galicia to the outer continent of Galicia. The country of California and its inhabitants perished around 1630 to 1700 when California nosedived into the Pacific. Another country and people removed...
Okay. We nosedived into the Pacific. Wait. Fuck.
Inhabitants perished around 1630 to 1700 when California nosedived into the Pacific.
Okay.
Another country and people removed from history, just like Tartaria, Friesland, and Hilland.
I'm in California now, man. But, okay. It nosedived into the Pacific. All right. I'm going to keep going here. I want my country of California back. Damn it. Bring it back.
Quickly going on to South America. Going back to what I was showing you earlier with the massive land loss in this area, as you can see with my rough outline of what's left today. Like I said, once you know the truth and use the correct code words, the narrative admits this land loss throughout this realm. During the Little Ice Age, which lasted from around the 16th to the 19th century, South America experienced notable environmental changes, particularly affecting its coastal regions. These changes influenced both flooding events and coastal loss. These flooding events often resulted from both heavy rainfall and rapid melting of glaciers. In particular, the Patagonian coastline and parts of northern Chile faced erosion. Estimates indicate that during the Little Ice Age, approximately 216,000 square miles were lost in South America. These areas right here. This area is now Patagonia, previously named Regione di Giganti, Land of the Giants. And to some, that may sound a wee bit silly, but this was a reality that's documented in many ships' logs from many famous and respected Navy admirals and captains during this timeline, the pre-reset timeline. These logs reported 8 to 12 foot men and women, including the voyage of the naval.
Dude, we got 8-footers now. There's some 8-foot people. I've seen them play basketball. It's crazy. I'm like, damn, 8-foot Mongols. 8 foot.
Reported 8 to 12 foot men.
12 foot, man. I ain't seen a 12 foot.
Including the voyage of the naval officer Ferdinand Magellan, an explorer that discovered the Straits of Magellan in 1520, a series of passages between Patagonia and what we now call Antarctica. He also named the Pacific Ocean. Himself and other crew wrote logs of accounts of these giants during his expedition that cost him his life, when he was killed by natives in the Philippines. We don't feel bad for this parasite.
Interesting.
He deserved what he got. I won't be going into it in detail, but he befriended these peaceful giants, gained their trust, then captured a few of them, enslaved them, abused them, and they died on the ship.
Fucking bastard. Fuck, man. Why you gotta do that? Yeah. Some big people. I'm gonna capture them and beat them. Oh, fuck. And then they died on the ship. It's a problem. Sorry. Just an interesting story.
These entire areas broke off and sunk into the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans around 1630, the same time the continent of California disappeared. Around to China, the Great Wall of China, a stunning old world red brick structure. They have a few bits restored for the tourists, but most of this was destroyed during the recent Ice Age. But there's no big mystery. This has nothing to do with defence, just an old trade route to get through the mountains and over the rivers between the Chinese Ming Dynasty and Tartaria.
Interesting. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I've heard that. The East India Company.
And over the river.
Oh, they're still in business? Oh, wow, that's weird.
Between the Chinese Ming Dynasty and Tartaria. Even more amazing than Mexico City, this is a giant island city called Quimincia, the biggest star fort I've ever seen, with 5 other island star forts around it. Probably thinking fantasy, right? No. Known as the City of Heaven, being the most splendid city in the world.
What the? Yeah. Look at that, man. Curved roads. Everything meets in the center. Bridges, boats, housing. Yeah, we're good. Where's the farmland, man? How we feeding all these people, bro? Out there? On the other side of the boats? Okay. Lots of boats, man. Lots of boats.
Notice the 3 bridges? I told you, Monty's the man. This map was amazingly accurate for 1587. As you can see, a huge star fort.
Well, it's not there today. Is it there today? That is a huge star fort, though. That's fucking huge.
Unfortunately, this city, everything around it, including its inhabitants,
It's gone.
were wiped out during the direct results of the Little Ice Age. Now, people really need to stop calling everything old Tartarian.
You gotta stop it, man. We have to stop this shit. I'm with him, bro. Average viewer duration, 11 minutes and 11 seconds. 11:11. I love it. Um, yeah, I'm with it, man. Nah, Tartare. Just old world is good. It works, man. Old world. I don't know. It's a big brush. Old world Tartare. Yeah, just stop calling it Tartaria, maybe. I don't know.
When you know the truth, you'll see how ridiculous it is. It's the cult shilling their misinformation and confusion.
Yeah,
The
he's
cult
right.
have gone on shilling overdrive to make most of you think that the Tartarians made everything old world. They've made you believe the least likely race of people and country to have made everything are in fact the very people that did. Tartaria was obliterated around the same time as the fall of the Ming Dynasty, around 1644. We can only assume Tartaria fell in the same way. This area is Tartaria, now called Russia. The lower region has sparse small cities and pictured. The above northern regions were individual teepee villages of Tartarian tribes. Nomads moving with the seasons, hence the teepee tents and wagons. As we can read in these inscriptions, all these Tartars, savage and without fixed habitations, but they carry their pavilions with them, and they carry with them leather covers which they use instead of houses. Now take note of these white animals pulling their wagons. These animals. These are not wild animals. They're pictured with blue collars. They're working animals. And when you bear in mind that animals like horses didn't arrive in mass in Asia and America until around 1750 with the British and European settlers.
Right. Yeah, he's right.
This description says Canny Alani,
That's what they say.
which means Great Dane dogs. There is still a dog breed around today called the Great Dane. Due to crossbreeding, modern Danes grow smaller than the Tartarian original breed. But still, look at the size of these beasts.
Fucking huge, man.
Now, you can see
200
how they had these Great Danes pulling their wagons.
Yeah,
We've got
maybe,
Maria Tartaro,
maybe.
the Tartarian Ocean. Azriet, these are the 10 tribes of Israel. A manticore. Here there are animals with human faces, body of lions, and tails.
What about the neckheads, man? You got the neckheads? You know, throw that in. I mean, yeah. You guys remember the neckheads? It's been a minute.
Of serpents. I'm guessing this is a womanticore. Well, this guy's just got bitch tits. When Monty pictures or talks about these creatures, it's because they're real. When he shows a unicorn, he means a unicorn.
Oh, man. Unicorns. That's a thing we use, you know. There's a unicorn here, a unicorn there.
When he shows a cyclops, he means a cyclops.
Oh, that's wicked, man. That's weird. You guys ever seen that? I've never seen that one. Cyclops.
When he shows
Never saw it.
birds flying with elephants, it's because they've seen a bird flying with an elephant.
No. All right, man. Wow. Okay. Now we're tripping.
And this bird was called Rock.
Rock?
Going from what we know is Tartaria onto what is now called Alaska. Remember, when the country of California took a nosedive into the Pacific Ocean,
Yeah.
it took half of what's now Alaska with it.
What?
This area in 1587 were called the Ananian Province and the Quiveria Province. Notice another griffin, like in Canada and Tartaria, a real creature of course, and the crest of both Tartaria and China, including the Ming Dynasty.
All right.
Here it says, in what's modern-day Alaska, this tribe who are in the countryside of Anilio in Tartary. This land is a region of Tartaria. Like countries of today, some claim rights to lands that are not attached to their own. Also take note of the same Tartarian teepee villages, tribes.
All right. Yeah. British. Yeah, the British own a lot of shit, man. Look at that. Look at the fucking British Mongos. Look at you hogging it. No, hogging it up, Mongos. No, wait. I heard the British are like one of the biggest landowners in America. They own a bunch of land here. That's what I heard years ago.
Also take note of the same Tartarian teepee villages, tribes, and the same Great Dane dogs. Small built-out cities in the lower southern regions, just like in Tartaria, and the multiple ports in the western regions of what's now Alaska, crossing over to the Ming Dynasty's City of Heaven. After the fall of the Ming Dynasty and Tartaria, the surviving Tartarians had to migrate south into Canada and what will become North America. For an unknown reason, the cult removed Tartaria and the Tartarians from their history books and renamed them the Native American Indians. The Tartarians are...
What? Mongo? Fucking, I'm a Tartarian? Fuck. Damn.
named them the Native American Indians. The Tartarians are not native to these lands. The
Really?
Tartarians are not American. They were on this land before America was claimed and named.
Right.
And the Tartarians are not Indians. These are in
The Tartarians are not Indians. There we go. That's awesome.
named. And the Tartarians are not Indians. These are Indians. You know, from India.
Yeah, India.
The Tartarians are of Oriental descent, but their own unique species of human. While they kept their ancient native traditions of living naturally in teepee villages, wise and knowledgeable, a fresh start in a new world. With still no horses on the land, and scientific proof that the first dogs of America came from Asia and Tartaria, due to the lack of resources and major famines worldwide at this time, the old ways of the Great Danes had to adapt. The Tartarian survivors prospered on this fully built-out land like you see all over Canada and America, but still chose to live how they always have. Naturally. Beautifully. Going back to the inscriptions in Tartaria, Avriet, these are the 10 tribes of Israel. Now, this is not Israel, the country of today, but look who it admits are one of the tribes of Israel. The American Indians, who we now know are the Tartarians, hence why this inscription was written in Tartaria. But this list of tribe names doesn't mention the Tartarians, only by their newly AI written name, the Native American Indians. Unfortunately for the Tartarians, the sea ice melted and allowed settlers to spew in and Christianity caught with them. Over the next 100 years, the remaining adult Tartarians were genocided of up to 100 million, and the AI wrote a new history for the now Native American Indians. I think the correct term is cultural genocide, indoctrinated through forced Christian schooling. Tartaria, like many other countries like California, Friesland and Hilton, were destroyed by the Little Ice Age, the last great reset, and removed from history. The way Tartaria was rediscovered during our timeline was through old world maps. Now, most infatuate on when Tartaria was removed from maps and what must have happened to them, which I've now explained. But no one seems to ask, when did Tartaria start appearing on maps? And the answer to that is 1292. It was around this date that the country of Tartaria was formed, and that same country was destroyed around 1644. The Grand Tartaria that built everything everywhere, every building in every country, were around for 352 years, start to finish, and lived in teepees the entire time. They still do. The name Tartaria did not exist before the late 1200s. Before anyone starts rambling, it was the peoples that lived there before that built everything everywhere. My point exactly. They were not called the Tartarians, so why are most calling everything old world Tartarian? The country that inhabited this land before it was called Tartaria in 1292 was called Kievan Rus. And before that, this country was called Srifia. If you still believe that Tartaria built everything everywhere, then you, my friend, have gone full retard.
Fucking retard. You guys have gone full retardo. I'm calling it retardtaria. Don't go full retardtaria on my ass, man. Don't do that. Yeah. We had a channel called Retardtaria. You guys remember that? Probably not. All right. It was fucking Google Hangouts, man. We had retartarias, bro. That was the name of one of our hangouts. I think. Anyway, Jimmy was pissed, man. He's like, "Why didn't you invite me? What the hell's wrong with you?" Like, all right.
I'll really quickly take you around the exterior lands. South of South America, we've got the Land of Fire, the only landmass without a proper name as such, aka Antarctica. And as it says, a port for every wind. A shipping port on what's now Antarctica in 1587. And the civilization that populated this continent was called the Geonoki people. Now bear in mind that the mainstream narrative says that this continent, which a remaining part of it is now called Antarctica, was only discovered and explored in 1911. But here it is, over 300 years earlier, detailing its civilization, ports, rivers and terrain.
There you go.
Now there's good reason why these two landmasses were called the Land of Fire. This land bleeds red rivers. From Admiral Byrd's expeditions landing on 300 square mile patches of warm areas on Antarctica were thermally warm lakes. Like I was showing you earlier with the island of Deception, this massive island that they use as a port, very close to where Monty's port was, thermal hot springs and red rock all over the place. These are some of the reasons why this land was referred to as the Land of Fire. South from South Mexico to Galicia, south from California to the Kesh. I'll get onto this later, but this is where the cult and some of their puppets live. South from South China to Nova Guinea, and this one will blow your mind later. And Monty detailed its inhabitants who are amongst us. South from South India to Patalia, and again detailed by Monty as inhabited. South from West Africa to what I call Vista 3. South from South Africa to what I call Vista 2 and 1. And in Monty's timeline, this land was discovered by the Portuguese. And we'll be coming back to all of these later on the modern chart. As I briefly explained towards the start, the moon is not a solid object that Freemasons can land on. It's a
No, it's not.
focus electromagnetic plasma phenomenon. Electromagnetic energy comes from below the Earth at the magnetic north. The moon
What about the south? Magnetic south, man.
is a reversed image of our flat world's floor plan, a mirrored bird's eye view. Our never changing face of the moon. By altering the colours, the world around us starts to appear.
Moon maps, here we go. Dude, is there anything this guy doesn't cover? I'm curious, man, because the moon map thing, bro. Come on. Here we go. Yeah. What is the moon map?
And I'll refer to this as the political map. It will help you
Political
get your
map.
head around it a bit better. This lunar map is so accurately detailed that it's an impossibility for it to be a coincidence. I believe in nothing, and I've tried to debunk it, but I can't. It lines up
I first ran into moon mapping ideas from a YouTube channel called Plantis Veritas, and he was doing a live stream 2016, and I was just listening and watching, I was working, whatever, and he found some NASA map, and it lined up with the moon, and I was like, what the heck is going on? And I actually went out and I think I even made a video. It's probably on my channel, maybe. I was like, these two things line up, man. I mean, there's no question. North America lines up with the moon. Yeah, it was interesting, man. I just remember I was like, damn, that's pretty cool. I thought it was revelationary, but yeah, this guy took it to the next level, and the moon map thing has been absolutely covered. It's interesting, man. Anyway, Check it out, man. That's all I'm saying.
Perfectly with the Monty, and I know the Monty map to be accurate. And there's some of you thinking, Captain, you're contradicting yourself now.
Get some sleep, Connie.
You said a map is only a real map if it retains a built-in key, a navigational guide to navigate the very map itself. And you're right. Don't take them eyeballs off your screen.
Hold on. Say goodbye to Connie here. Oh, fuck, man. Good night, Connie.
Perfection. There's the key. The Monty chart is amazingly accurate for its day. The lunar chart is amazingly accurate today. Before I get stuck in, I want to thank Vibes of the Cosmos for his years of research on this subject.
Shout out to
His
Vibes.
work's outstanding, and with respect to Vibes and every other genuine truth journalist, unfortunately, like most researchers, they make mistakes and sometimes don't comprehend the bigger picture and allow themselves to be blindsided with beliefs pushed upon them. So like with all these subjects I've touched on during this presentation, I've corrected, connected and finished Vibes of the Cosmos' work on this particular subject. Vibes has got the locations of the exterior lands in the incorrect areas geographically, in the wrong order and even missing in his seemingly unfinished work. These mistakes were for 3 reasons. 1. Vibes doesn't understand the destruction of the recent Little Ice Age between the 1587 Monty map and modern maps and the severe amount of land lost. 2. Vibes is not an expert in cartography specialising in Old World cartography and particularly the Abono Monty 1587. 3. Vibes is not a sailor nor truly understands marine navigation, chart plotting or astronavigation. Vibes mistakenly labelled this landmass as Nova Guinea, but this is actually Lakesh. What I've outlined here was Nova Guinea's original location before the destruction of the Little Ice Age, and everything inside this line was part of Nova Guinea. And here are the rest.
Okay.
As you can see, this includes Australia and New Zealand, amongst other surrounding islands like Fuji. I can undeniably prove this geographically amongst dozens of other proofs, mainly with the help of Monty's map, the key. And the implications are mind-blowing. Australia is full of old world and even ancient architecture predating the recent reset and the Little Ice Age. Meaning there was built up architecture and infrastructure not only in our known world, but even in the outer lands that surround us. The mainstream tells us that Australia was discovered by James Cook in 1770 and named Australia around 1825, and every old world building there was founded after. And as you can see on the Monty map, Australia's massive landmass is missing in the highly detailed area that Australia should be in geographically. There's only one country missing on the entire Monty map. Guess which one? Yep, Australia. But in reality, Monty didn't miss Australia out. It's right in front of you. Well, what Australia used to look like before every volcano in the area blew their tops all at once for years on end, causing massive earthquakes, mudslides, and entire countries to fall into the oceans.
That's wicked.
During the Little Ice Age that only ended in 1860. Now, let me give you one of the undeniable proofs, then I'll get onto a few of the more interesting proofs out of the dozens that I've collected. There's a couple of ways that we can use Australia's position geographically today and use it to locate the same area on Monty's map. The tropical zodiac is a system that divides the sky into 12 equal parts, each corresponding to a zodiac sign. The tropical zodiac is not directly used for navigation, but understanding celestial movements is crucial for us navigators. The Tropic of Capricorn runs through South Africa, South America, and Australia. This line of latitude marks the southernmost point where the sun can be directly overhead at noon during the December solstice.
Yep.
The Tropic of Capricorn runs through the southern part of South Africa, just like on the Monty map, and runs through the central part of South America, as on the Monty, and lastly runs through Australia's central region. As I follow the Tropic of Capricorn into the area where Australia now geographically sits, there's only this section of land that Capricorn runs through, showing the location of Australia on the Monty map. And guess what landmass we're on? Yep, Nova Guinea. Lines up perfectly. And Australia geographically sits right
Damn.
here.
There you go.
New Guinea just under the equator line. And the Indonesian islands all line up geographically to Australia's position too.
Oh, man. Pretty cool.
Using Borneo as a reference, as its name hasn't changed since its 1587 map, and Borneo today, we've got Malaysia, Singapore, Java, which has took a serious hit since 1587, the Swahili's, New Zealand plus surrounding islands were also part of Nova Guinea.
Okay.
Pre-Little Ice Age and the destruction that came with it, Papua New Guinea was known as the Glio Kingdom, but we still see remnants of the old city names like Papua New Guinea. The narrative says the Spanish were the first to name it after the reset, Nueva Guinea. Nueva Guinea, Nova Guinea. Clearly named after the country and outer ring landmass that had just been renamed Australia. The documented civilization in Nova Guinea was called the Kingdom of Brasilia. Australia, Brasilia. Sounds similar, but it gets weirder. The oceans on Monty's map behind the ring of continents were titled, behind Nova Guinea, now Australia, Oceano Austral Giatico. Altogether, it just translates to Southern Ocean. But if we take the word as it was written and said at the time, Austral, the V's in ancient Italian were pronounced as a U in modern Italian. So it's Austral, Australia. Now, is it a coincidence that the newly named Australia can be made up from the same name of its previous kingdom, Brasilia, and its ocean, Austral? Plus, when you add Nova Guinea, New Guinea, that's the old country, its kingdom, and ocean's name hidden inside the new names. Obviously not a coincidence, as I've already proven this is Australia geographically. Discovered in 1770, my hairy Scottish arse, was it? I could keep doing this with the name link,
His hairy
but I want
ass.
to show you the people of the Kingdom of Brasilia. There's multiple descriptions of the inhabitants of Nova Guinea on Monty's map. The photos I'm showing are of the now called Australian Aboriginals, New Zealand Maoris, and the New Guinean peoples. These peoples are of the same race, just different tribes and separated by the destruction of the Little Ice Age. In these countries, which are not yet well known, men go naked and among them. The oldest perform the office of kings, who however govern in the manner of a republic, seeing in all manner of a barbarian, without any policy in this. The inhabitants of this country do not want the trade of strangers or their friendship, and this is forbidden by their kings under the greatest pains and a gift for idlers, meaning come ashore and we'll kill you and eat you. During any of the expeditions, if I anchor up offshore and this lot come running down the beach, or this guy pops out of his house with his dear old mum, I'm out of there. The last thing I wanted to mention before we move on is the weird unique animals and critters shown on Monty's map of Nova Guinea. Now don't get me wrong, there's unusual critters all over Monty's exterior lands, but Australia is often regarded as the land of unique wildlife and having the most extraordinary and rare species on Earth. Let's have a quick look at what happened to the survivors of the Brasilia Kingdom after the Little Ice Age and British and Europeans founded it.
Let's have a little look, man.
Blessing its natives with their Christianity. 95% of the native Nova Guinean people were genocided, raped and enslaved during massacres.
Shocking.
That
I'm
sickened me
shocked.
during my proof gathering for this documentary, and I won't be repeating any of it. What I found pained my body and soul.
Yeah, I get you, bro.
Especially this Jumanji looking piece of shit. If there's a jaw I'd like to break, it's his. I'd like to see him smirk then. Evil bastard. And where did they take them? probably to dig out all the mud flood in North America, then dig their own graves. The most mind-blowing thing about Nova Guinea, what we now know is Australia and New Zealand, is this outer ring landmass that's meant to be part of the Great Imaginary Ice Wall had fully built out cities and infrastructure pre-reset, pre the Little Ice Age. The same infrastructure we see all over Australia today. And as this part of the ring of land around us was built out and was inhabited by its builders in the past, it's only logical to expect all of these land masses to be built out with infrastructure. I've known this for a while and it still blows my mind to think about the possibilities. Let me show you how they hide these lands from you. These are the marine traffic paths. These are the flight paths. These lands are hidden to us on their modern distorted maps, but visible on the lunar chart, Monty map, plus other old world maps. As you can see, both marine and flight traffic misses these hidden lands with perfection.
Yeah.
And gives more accurate flight plan times than their own distorted map and their flat earth fake map. Back down to Antarctica. This is what Antarctica is. This tiny little turd. A small island off South America. Like I said, close to its mainstream narrative, but the main lie is its size. It's not continent number 7, it's a small island, a remnant of the Land of Fire. That dot right there, that's the Ross Ice Shelf, also known as the Ice Wall. Scary, right? How are we going to get over it? How are we going to get around it? We must be trapped.
I don't know.
In your minds, maybe. You've been brainwashed into believing in an ice wall with zero evidence of its existence whatsoever. When millions of people woke up to the realisation that we don't live on a globe, the cult knew that our next step was to go look for ourselves. So they conditioned everyone to believe in their ice wall that traps you in your mind like their globe used to.
Yep.
It's really sad to see how effective the deception was.
Yep.
What else are you willing to believe without any evidence whatsoever? These islands are also part of the Land of Fire, but these are hidden on the cult's modern maps. The second landmass on Monty's map was completely destroyed with no remnants left on the lunar map. Once our current and coming ice age are complete, there'll be nothing left down here. Galicia was decimated too. On the lunar map, there's a faint line in between these landmasses. I wish I could give you more than my scribbles over Vibes' map, but I'm not a very technical man. If you do have the technical skills to create a similar type map like Vibes' map, but with my corrections to it, obviously I'd pay you for your services, please get in touch. So Galicia is about the same size as Canada, America and Mexico combined. Look at the size of Lakesh. The fact that they give us Australia, but not this, and go to the extreme lengths to hide it from us, I'm guessing this is a landmass that the cult inhabit for themselves. I've collected a dozen clues and hints that this is the case, like this photo from inside Air Force One, JFK's presidential plane.
Yep.
Notice the map on the wall, and no, that's not Australia, that's Lakesh. It's highlighted in lots of old world cartography. Lakesh has good weather, easy and quick to access, plus this continent didn't see much destruction during the Little Ice Age. We've already been quickly over Nova Guinea, aka Australia, New Zealand and surrounding islands, but still, look at all this land south of Australia. Onto Petilia. This was completely missing off Vibes' map locations. The creepy thing is, in 1587, this continent was inhabited by a civilization of people described in Monty's map. And bear in mind, he was correct about the Nova Guinea people, so chances are he's right about the Petilia peoples too. Less known, but this is what I've got. In these countries, it's not allowed for foreigners to live there, and everyone goes naked, so we're seeing a trend, and is very white. Very white to me sounds odd, coming from white Caucasians. During my research, I did find a fair few photos of New Guinean people painting themselves white, and they did this to scare off peoples and other tribes. Or maybe they were just pale-skinned. On to what I call Vista 3. Remember on the Monty, all three of these continents were called Vista or Land of Vista, implying that there's some type of connection that I've never been able to connect. Maybe one of you can. But look at the size of this landmass. We could fit 3 of our world's land combined into this area. It's gigantic. And the chances are this entire area is fully built out with ancient and old world infrastructure, possibly even populated. We've got Vista 2, a series of lands twice the size of Europe. Again, I bet this land is fully built out. And the last gem, Vista 1, previously known as Atlantis. Destroyed during ancient times, but not sunken like the legend state until the destruction of the Little Ice Age. Obviously Vibes also figured out that Atlantis was down here, but like most on his layout, Vibes mistakenly classed Vista 2 as Atlantis. Most that search for Atlantis are taken way off the mark with fantasy. Like in any research, stick to the facts and you'll always get to the truth. Use logic. Atlantis, Atlantean, Atlantic Ocean. Now, quickly going back to the different timelines of architecture. Now you're starting to understand the 4 different timelines. There's ways that we can prove the pre-reset timelines people did not build the stunning ancient and old world architecture. As Monty states, these outer landmasses were not yet well known. Monty's 1587 map was made towards the end of the pre-reset timeline. 20 years later, the world went to shit. So we know it wasn't the pre-reset timeline that made these structures we see all over places like Australia. The main mud floods happened between 16 and 1700. The narrative says that these Australian structures weren't built until the late 1800s, but all of them are severely mud flooded. So they either built all of these palaces, then decided to bury them all in mud, or these buildings were built pre-mud flood. So these structures are clearly built pre-reset and pre the Little Ice Age. And we know it wasn't the Nova Guinea peoples, the Brasilia Kingdom's people, that built these structures. Ancient and old world buildings all over Australia, which are of the same architectural style as structures in England, France, Spain and the rest of the known world. It's an impossibility that the Nova Guinean people built their structures in exactly the same way, especially with these people having no contact with the outside world during their timeline. The Nova Guineans inherited this land and its infrastructure just as the rest of the pre-reset timeline did. Just as our timeline inherited what was left from our pre-reset timeline. These buildings were created by the ancient and old world timelines people before their own demise. Clearly the ancient and old world timelines people inhabited all lands, including the outer ring of landmasses that surround us. Monty's time, the people pre-reset to us, obviously had a higher knowledge about our world compared to our dumbed down timeline. Humanity has never been this stupid. Right, before the ice wall lovers start pointing around the lunar edge and screaming ice wall, let me show you a crappy experiment I did. This black piece of paper represents our world. Everything we see on the Monty and lunar maps. All around our known world, I've placed other charts representing other landmasses beyond. I've got a round mirror. This represents our moon's reflection. It's in no way to scale, but that doesn't matter, you'll get the point. The camera represents our perspective looking up at the moon. And as I rotate the moon around our world, this is a reflection, our perspective. All we see is a round reflection of the immediate land around us, but we can't even see the full black rectangle piece of paper, only a small circle part of it.
Right.
So does that prove that the rectangle is actually a circle? No, because we can step back and we know 100% that there's more than the little circle that we can see from ground level. My logical mind only gives 2 possibilities. This circle is the edge of the known world, a barrier, maybe even an ice wall, a sealed unit from that point onwards. Or, like I said with my experiment, when you look into your bathroom mirror, do you see the reflection of the entire wall behind you, or just a part of it? Knowing for a fact that these hidden lands exist, this creates more issues and questions. We know for a fact that our local moon and sun both circle and spiral around our north. But if this outer land, large enough to fit 3 times our world inside, doesn't get the warmth from our local sun, it must be in darkness and frozen. Now, this is just a theory until I prove it, and I eventually will because I'm right. It would be a waste to create this
Very
massive
confident,
landmass, plus possibly more beyond, to only allow a tiny part of it to be livable and accessible. It just doesn't make sense to me. And whenever something doesn't make sense to me, it's always because it's wrong. My soul resonates with the truth and receives information directly from source, and I feel it in my bones that these lands are habitable. If this area wasn't receiving warmth, the land and oceans would be frozen. There wouldn't be any distinctive features between the frozen land and seas, and the moon's reflection would look more like this. But that's not what we see. We see separate land and liquid oceans, indicating warmth and light. How could the moon reflect darkness and show landmasses in such detail? The only logical explanation would be this area has its own heat and light source. The sun and moon are yin and yang. You can't have one without the other. And you can't have either without their power source, a magnetic north. My improving theory is that this land has its own sun and moon. Light, warmth, a power source and a magnetic north. Once becoming out of range of our lunar map, the next moon will come into view. Our moon and sun are not unique. I don't know how far the land goes before its inevitable containment, but at the end of the day, neither do any of you. And there's only two ways that we can find out. Remove the cult and gain back the secret libraries and knowledge, and or just go and look for ourselves.
Check it out. Go check it out.
I need help from truth seekers and content creators to help push the information on this documentary, to put truth research back on the right path. I don't expect channels to repost it, as the truth is against YouTube's community guidelines, and you'll only have your channel deleted over it.
Yeah, I'll probably get it
But
deleted.
you can give
That's
10
fine.
seconds of your time to promote and show your followers where to find this documentary. I've posted it on 17 different social medias and made its own webpage. The key to taking your freedom and world back isn't through violence, or voting,
Yeah, very
or
speculative.
standing outside waving
Very
a
interesting.
cardboard sign.
Yep.
As their AI stated, the truth threatens their power. The truth will set you all free.
That's right.
Knowledge ascends to enlightenment and a higher vibration. In this documentary, you've seen a glimpse of the power of frequency and vibration.
Pay no attention to the man
When the
behind the
veil's
curtain.
lifted and the curtains drawn, they lose the psychological power they have over the masses, and we can purge these parasites from our world for good. We are the ones with the true power. We can manifest a better world.
Yep.
I'm offering to take 11 brave enlightened souls for the first expedition over 2 vessels. I will show you all the reality of the world around you, and there's nothing the cult can do to stop me. I need a second captain for Saorsa 2, a 40-foot steel-hulled, cutter-rigged sailing yacht. No details of the expedition will be...
40-foot cutter. That's nice. It's got 2 mainsails. All right. Yeah, that's good. And head sail. Interesting. 40-foot steel hull. Got to be steel hull, man. Hit some ice. Get through it. All right. Interesting.
given until you've been selected as crew. For the first voyage, I asked for no females, no one under the age of 25, no one with children under the age of 18,
Yeah.
and no one over the age of 60.
That counts me out, bro. I'm over 60, bro. Sorry. I can't go. All right. Yeah, you're right. You don't want my old ass out there, man. But I can sail. I know how to do that.
And I mean no disrespect.
I'm sure you don't. But, yeah. Yeah, it's tough out there, man. You got to be able to hold on to lines and, yeah, set your sails, all that good stuff, man. All right. Interesting. Captain. Interesting. Very interesting, Captain. I'll give you that.
I will protect my crew and we will return safely, but sailing into undetailed, uncharted and unknown waters has its dangers.
No shit.
And I don't need the listed above clouding my job as captain.
No.
Each crew member must be prepared to individually spend 10 days with myself aboard Saorsa, my home, to experience and learn the basics of sailing and navigation. And approximately a 7-week expedition round trip.
All right, you mongoose. Somebody jump in. Help the guy out, man. Let's go. I'll kick in a few dollars. I will.
I can't be fooled, and I can see through your windows and into your soul. So if you don't have
Right on, Jessme. Yep. Much love, brother.
one or have bad intentions for me or my crew, I will see you. The parasite that runs and deceives this world has no power over me. And the captain doesn't like having his time wasted by deceivers. You may be a wolf in sheep's clothing, but I'm a lion in lions. Be warned. I don't trust tech, but for now...
Yeah, it's brand new. I think it's a few weeks came out. I don't know. Not that long.
If you'd like to contact me, please see the address on screen or in the link below if this is an original post from a channel owned by myself. Any issues in future, and I'll add a PO box address.
All right.
Just be careful of deceivers. I would never ask any of you
Be
to
careful
do
out there,
or give
Cab.
me anything. I will show you all your reality
I
at
know,
my
man.
own expense.
I mean, if I was in my 20s,
Anyways,
I knew what I knew.
if you've got to this
now.
point, thank you for your...
Fuck yeah, let's go, man. Let's rock this thing. Yeah, I'd be all over it, but I'm old and that's not gonna happen. He didn't want anybody at my age anyway. But yeah, let's check it out. I would go check it out, man. But yeah, I don't know if he'll put together a crew. Who knows? There's been a few guys wanting to do stuff. One guy wanted to walk to the North Pole. He got to Canada and got arrested. There's been some other flights and stuff people put money into. We're going to fly here and go over Antarctica, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that didn't happen. There's been people that took money and just split. Yeah. So, yeah, I get it. But this guy's not asking for money, man. He just needs bodies. That makes it a little more interesting anyway. But you gotta learn to sail, man. You gotta know your shit, how to navigate. You know, it's not that complicated, man. You guys can figure it out. You guys are smart. All right, that was cool, huh? All right, we got through it.
your time. Peace and love to you all.
Peace and love, man. Yeah. Yeah, we'd all like to be free and be able to travel everywhere. That's my opinion. You know, I want to go everywhere. Go wherever, yeah. I'm more like a Pacific guy. Like, it's warm. It's ocean. It's warm. That'd be cool. Yeah, I could sail out there. But I don't know about this cold thing, man. Fuck that. No. Not for me. I mean, you guys can do it. You guys are young. Well, thanks for hanging out, everybody. It was a good little walkthrough there, man. Dude, people have been suggesting this video all week, and I was like, what the hell's going on? Or maybe I'll do a live stream on it. Okay, let's do it. And I did it. And that's sad. You know, I think he brought a lot of good, interesting information in. But it was interesting for sure. And good luck, Captain. Appreciate you putting together something, man. Doing something at least. I like that. But all right, everybody. I'm gonna pop out. But yeah, it was good. Interesting video, right, Sue? Yeah, totally interesting. Yeah, good stuff, man. It's in the description, man. If you guys want to hit it. The full length anyway, without me yapping all over the shit. Sorry. But yeah, he brought up a lot of cool stuff. All right. You guys carry on, would you? Much peace and love, as Captain would say, man. Much peace and love. All right, I'm out.